Hello everybody and welcome to Handmade by Trish. Today's video is inspired by Dawn Griffiths. She's another Stampin' Up demonstrator in America and her name or company name is Dawn's Stamping Thoughts. If you don't already follow her, check out her video. I will link the video in the description below, so do check her out. So I will show you the card in a minute. It's a card stroke gift card holder, and I have a particular gift card holder I've been making for years that I really like, which is a pop-up one. But I really liked this because it was also very much a card, and I like the fact you could very easily put money in it, so it's not necessarily just a gift card. So this is our brand new catalogue, launched on the 4th of January, and it runs through to the end of October. And those that know me will know I love anything to do with under the water. I was a scuba diving instructor for many years, so anything to do with the sea I love. So this is the stamp set, which is brand new out of the catalogue. But what I really liked, and the reason why I'm showing it to you in the catalogue, is if you turn the submarine stamp upside down the other way, like shown here, it looks like one of those balloon things, so you can do it for the sky. There's actually, so there's a floating by just to say hi, and there's I thought there was a flying by, but I just thought that was really cool that it's, you put the flag on it and it's like a balloon ship plane but then this way up it's like a submarine. So that's the stamp set we're going to use today. This is the card I'm going to quickly show you. So this has a sleeve with just designer series paper, and you pull the sleeve off the card. So that on its own can stand up as a card, but when you open it up, you've got, I've actually got my library card in here, but you would put your gift card or money or anything that you want to gift in there. So you've got all this to decorate so that when the card's out of it, it still looks pretty. And you've got lots of space to write too. So the previous gift card holders that I used to make a lot of and sell a lot of don't really give you any room to write, and they're not so ideal if you want to gift cash. So I really loved this idea. I thought they looked so smart. So I'm going to show you how to make that. If you go to Dawn's video, she gives you all of the measurements in Imperial if you're using inches. My video is going to be in metric, and so slightly different sizes to Dawn's. So I've already pre-cut all the pieces of paper. I will put these measurements in the description below. You'll need whatever your card base colour is going to be. Whatever cardstock colour you want to do that in. This one is Blueberry Bushel, and the size of this is 10 centimetres by 29.7 centimetres. Now I say 29.7 centimetres because that's actually the full length of an A4 piece of paper. So if you're in America, you'll be using Lolita size paper, so you wouldn't get that measurement out of it. But if you're using A4, it's basically just 10 centimetres and then the full length of an A4 sheet. Your designer series paper, this paper is unfortunately retired now. I loved it when it came out, so much that I actually didn't use it much. I loved it so much I didn't want to use it. So I've actually got quite a lot of it. Waves of the Ocean it's called. It's 12 by 12 paper, and it's done using that like paint pouring method. And really interesting designs and beautiful colours, and I love the bubbles in it. I've used some of the ones that look less like waves in space cards. My mother, her birthday is on the day that they landed on the moon, so I've done a few cards with her for her with the ones that look more like space. So with your designer series paper, that size is 9 centimetres by 23 centimetres. You'll then need 2 pieces of whatever colour you're going to use on the inside. In this example, I'm using white. I will show you an example at the end of this video where I've used the very vanilla. But this is what you're going to be stamping on in the inside. So this is 9.5 centimetres by 12.5 centimeters, and you'll need 2 of those. And then you just need a scrap. I actually only need 1 of these unless I make a mess stamping. And this I have just punched out using this punch. You can use any punch that you like. This one is, I believe, a retired one now. It wasn't around for very long, but I quite like the size of it. But any punches that you've got, label punches, any punch that will suit the sentiment that you want to put on will be fine for this project. So just pop that there. So I'm just going to get my paper trimmer. And we'll do some scoring. I'll move these pieces to one side. So we're going to score the card base and the designer series paper. So for the card base, we're going to score this at 13 centimeters. And then again at 26 centimeters. And then with our designer series paper, we're going to score this at 5.3 centimeters. 5.3. And at 15.8. Now this is really hard on this because it's right where it kind of goes off. So it's around about there. So it's very, very hard to see the marks there. But if you're looking at your own trimmer, you should be able to see that okay. Right, so that's all the trimming or all the scoring we need to do. So if we just fold our score lines, now on the card base you want to use your bone folder and give that a nice crisp fold. Just burnish that with your bone folder. Now I don't do that with the designer series paper because you actually want it to be a little bit slack. You don't want it to be hugging the card so tight because you want to be able to easily pull it off. So I just use my finger and thumb just to press that down. So this is going to be our belly band and this is going to be our card base. That's going to look something like that. So I'm going to get on with the stamping next. So the sentiments, you can actually easily put a couple of sentiments on this card because you can put one on the outside, which is going to be the main feature of your card when the belly band is off, for example, that. So I like to use a punch that's big enough that you can actually add something other than just the sentiment, give it a little bit of interest. So the sentiment that we're going to put on here is happy birthday. Actually, there's another one, there's another stamp on here called You're Sublime. I might actually use that one. And then put happy birthday in the middle. What did I put in the middle of that one? Sending oceans of love. Oh, I quite like that too. Oh, maybe I will do happy birthday. You can always use happy birthday ones, can't you? Let's find happy birthday. There it is. Just grab a stamp block. Should have got those ready in advance. Okay. So the colour ink that I've used to stamp the sentiment is Blueberry Bushel, which is the same colour as the cardstock. It's quite a juicy pad, so I won't need to ink it up much. That's nicely covered. And then I'm going to do it a little nearer the top. I did it a bit too, let's line it up on the grid. I did it a bit too low down on the other one and my little swimming fish got a bit squished in the end. So I'm just going to go a little bit higher on this one. As I was kind of making it up as I went, I hadn't realised I was going to put the little fish on the front. So I didn't quite leave. You can see they just squeeze in on the bottom there. So now that I know that's what I'm going to do, I can plan it out a bit better. Okay, so that's the happy birthday. Then there's this really cute little string of fish, if I can find them. There they are. These are very cute, and I'm going to stamp these in pumpkin pie, which is our lovely orange. Now with this, I reckon you can get away with having them swim either direction with the way their eyes are. Their eyes are kind of in the middle, so it wouldn't matter which way up you put the stamp. I'm just going to stamp them along the top. And then the little fish. I think these are such happy little fish. I love their little smiley faces. And I'm just doing them in pumpkin pie as well. We'll pop them there. That's super cute. Right, clean that. Okay, so that's the panel for the outside of the card. Now for the inside of the card, I'm going to take one of your bits of paper. Now I actually, to give me an indication of exactly where I wanted to stamp it, I actually got my card base and I put the bit of paper in here so that I know where it's going to go, and then I know exactly where to stamp my submarine. Now I can't help but do submarines in yellow because of the Yellow Submarine song. So I'm just going to ink this up in Daffodil Delight. And let's pop it about there. Then next we're going to have a look at this like little, I think it's meant to be not a porthole, like a looking telescope. Is it a telescope? I'm going to do that in grey granite. And that's another very juicy pad, so I want to be careful not to get too much ink on it and just line it up. It's a nice thing about the photopolymer stamps is you can see exactly where you want to put all those little wee pieces. And then also, while I've got the grey granite out, I'm going to do the propeller. Okay, and just put the propeller on the end here. That looks gorgeous. With the waves that go out, I say waves, with the water that's kind of flowing out the back because of the propeller, I used Blueberry Bushel, but I stamped it off a couple of times because it's quite a strong colour. So I didn't want it to be quite as strong as the colour of the ink pad. So I just inked it up, stamped it once, stamped it twice. I'm not going to stamp it on the card base because I don't want that on there. And then just line it up on the bottom and stamp it down. And you can see even in third generation that's still quite bright. So there's our little yellow submarine. Then for the upper piece of card, I decided to have a little bit more of like a sea. So where's my other piece of paper? Here it is. Pop that to one side. So with this one, I did I definitely need a bigger stamp block than the one I've got. So I did the sand, and I did that in crumb cake. I can probably, well, I'll put that away for a little while. I'll do the sentiment on that. But so with the crumb cake, I'm going to do the sand. And because it's see-through, you can line it up. I did it so it's just hangs over the edge of the bottom of the card, because I wanted it to go all the way to the bottom. And then I did some little bits of seaweed, and once again with the seaweed I stamped it off like I did with the waves, and I did that in Old Olive. I got lots of colours out, didn't I? I can probably put that crumb cake away now. Okay, so with my seaweed, I just wanted it to be light because I've put my sentiment there. So, and once again, I'm just doing it over so that it's, and then it's just lighter. Second generation is quite nice. I'm going to put the long sentiment on, which is Sending Oceans of Love. I think that's a really cool saying for any of the sea theme cards. Get the blueberry bushel out again. That's looking good, and I'm going to stamp it. I like to line my paper up. Oh, let me just move this paper up so you can see the bottom. I like to line it on the edge so that I can use the lines in the grid paper to sort of eyeball if it's straight or not. So that looks pretty good to me. I'm going to go a little bit over the sand on the left and into the seaweed on the right. And that looks lovely. Then going back to my pumpkin pie, I'm going to do those lovely little stringer fish again. And I love that these are photopolymer again, because you can just line it up so it goes nicely along. I can just do it along my words above my sending. I just think that looks so cute. Then using my smiley fish again, because you can't have a card without these little guys. Just going to pop them along the top. So you've still got loads of space to write something. Now, let's get to putting this together. Now, I have done on the ones I've done, I've used a little circle punch. If you've got any sort of circle punch, and just kind of eyeballed the middle, and just kind of taken out a little bit of a wedge, a little half moon. You absolutely don't need that step, but if you want to, you can add that. So using my Stampin' Seal, I'm going to place my inside one down. And if you just place it so that you've got an equal border all the way around. Now using, going as close to the edge as you can, using your double-sided tape, you're just going to go from the middle or from the fold. I think I've just run out. Oh no, maybe not. Maybe there's some more there. I'm about to run out of this. So you're just doing the two edges, and go quite close to the edge because you want as much of this space open as you can. And then we're just going to close that down. And then your card or money or anything that you're putting into the pocket will fit in there. Then we're going to put a couple of strips of tape on the top card. Once again, just leaving an equal border all the way around. Okay, so that's our card. So now for the front, using our punch, we are going to, I need to unearth it underneath all my ink pads. Okay, so with the punch, we're just going to, if it's directional, which to me this is, it's like the waves going like that. I guess it could work that way, but for me, I want it going this way. So if it's directional, have it in the direction that you want the top to be at the top. And then I'm just going to pop my punch, and I'm going to let it go right down to the bottom of my punch. So I don't need to worry about the up-down position. I just need to worry about the left-right. I just want to eyeball it, make sure we're roughly in the center, and then punch it out. So that can be used on a card or on something for something else. So now I'm going to put just some of the double-sided tape here along this edge. Now you'll see, actually, let me just show you. You'll see one flap is longer than the other. The one that's longer is going to go underneath. That's the one you want to put the tape on, because the shorter side is going to go on the top. So then roughly it's around about in the middle. So I actually make sure all the layers are in so that you know the thickness that you're going around, because you don't want to do this really tight. You actually want it to be loose so it's easy as a sleeve to pull on and off. So I'm just gently closing it in position. You'll actually see that it's actually made to be slightly bigger anyway, so you don't want to be pulling it in tight. You want to have it fairly flat. And actually that's joined together so well at the back, you can almost hardly tell it's a join with the design of that paper. So now back to the front again. I position it so that it's roughly nice and center. Getting my sentiment panel, I'm going to put some tape on the back of this. And then I'm actually going to put it right in place. Now, because it's been stamped out the same, with the same punch, it's exact. It's like it sits on top of it, and then I can just push it down. And then what I used is my bone folder to just get in underneath and just lift it so that it just lets the tag go underneath. And then that frees it up to move freely. And because it's not a tight fit, and that's why you don't want it to be a tight fit, because if it was a tight fit, it would catch on that. So it just lifts off, opens up, and there you have your gift card holder. So I will show you another one I did. This particular stamp set is a new one. The paper's old. With this other one that I did, I used a stamp set that is one of my favorites. It's years old. It's well retired, but it's one I just can't get rid of. On the front it says, "Hope you're feeling special today." And when you open it up, on the inside it says, "Because that's what you are." And when we take the gift card out, I've just stamped flowers on the B inside. This little tag here, it says place your gift card here. It's the size of a gift card, and I just put that in my cards that I sell so that it's sort of self-explanatory. And then that just slots back in there. And this one I did using the Very Vanilla. So they're the two cards. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe, that helps me very much too. So I'd be very grateful. Thank you, and look forward to catching up to you soon. Bye.